What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the video. So the last 5 months or so since I started training for this ultramarathon, all the work that's happened since then to now has led to this moment. This week is peak week, and tomorrow I'm going on a 30-mile run, which is going to be the farthest I've ever ran. Before that, it was just a marathon. I've never gone beyond that. And tomorrow is going to be a big, huge test. Any prep I've ever done, whether it be marathon or this ultramarathon, any prep I've done has come with huge challenges that have tested me beyond belief. And tomorrow's one of those challenges, being able to run for probably close to 5 hours, being on my feet. It's kind of like mind-boggling to even think about at this point. But I've prepped well. I've laid out the route I'm going to run tomorrow, laid out my nutrition, everything. And so we're going to go over that in a second, go over my plan for tomorrow. But it's exciting. It's scary. I don't know how tomorrow's going to go. Obviously, being out there for 5 hours on my feet is going to come with a lot of unknowns. So with that being said, I'm super excited for it, and this video is going to be incredible. So join me on my longest run ever, 30 miles. Let me sit down and run you through my whole game plan. Okay, so as I've mentioned, we're in peak week. And so I quickly want to fill you in on what my week of training has looked like this week leading up to this point. Monday, 10 miles easy. Tuesday, 10 miles easy. Wednesday, 10 miles easy. Thursday, 10 miles easy. And then today, Friday, is the only difference. I did just a chill 6-mile run on the treadmill. And that's mostly just to give my legs time to just get rested and recovered for tomorrow, which will be 30 miles. And then Sunday, I'll just fill in the gaps to get to 80 miles. My two main objectives for this peak week was, one, to hit 80 miles this whole week, and then two, to hit a really solid and successful 30-mile long run. So those are the two objectives, the two things I want to accomplish that will give me confidence going into the race. Because obviously, like, training and running all this, it's obviously to get myself physically fit for the race, but it's also like to get my mind right and get my mind able to even start to comprehend running 50 miles. Obviously, 30 miles is still 20 miles off of 50 miles, which is crazy. It is. But you got to start somewhere, and hitting 30 miles will kind of unlock this new possibility for what I am able to achieve in running. Because like I said, never gone above the 20s. So I need this run tomorrow physically, but also mentally, just to know that I can stay out and run for 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever, however long it takes. One of the biggest challenges of running 30 miles was planning out a route. And so I spent a lot of time figuring out what route I could choose that was like not super boring, gave me a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And so I actually went over to Strava. You can create your own routes on Strava. I think you have to have like the paid version of Strava. But I mapped out a route, so I want to go over the route and the logistics of it. So obviously, you know that Sophie and I film all of our videos together, everything. And so I had to figure out how she could stay with me for a big portion of the run. I knew that I couldn't do the full run out in the mountains because I could only really film with my DJI little Osmo camera. So I decided, okay, we're going to start at her house and we're going to run about 10 miles, maybe give or take 10 miles to the start of the trailhead at Santan Mountain. From there, she is going to get picked up by her mom with the bike, and she's going to go back home for a while. And then I am going to throw on my trail shoes, put on my vest, and I'm going to start out on about an 11-mile loop around the mountain. At that point, when I get back, I'm going to meet up with Sophie again. She'll get dropped back off, and then she's going to ride the bike back with me home. And that should be about 30 miles and should be a decent route. So that is the plan, to have Sophie be able to film, and also for me to get some time on the road, but also time on the trail. What's nice about having Sophie is I don't have to carry any water or nutrition with me. She can carry most of that for the times that she's riding her bike with me. So that brings up kind of the second big thing that I've had to plan. This 30 miler is a big test for two reasons. Obviously, it's going to be a test of my body and my legs, but it's also going to be a big test nutritionally. Like, I've never had to eat this much and consume this amount of calories, liquids, electrolytes, and all that because I've never run this long. So I had to do a good bit of planning for that. Having Sophie there with me is a huge help because she can kind of like keep me accountable and hand me stuff as I need it. So let's hop over here. I have all my nutrition laid out and kind of the plan I have for my nutrition. Okay, right here is a conglomeration of everything I'm going to be bringing on my run tomorrow. The main objective for me tomorrow is every hour to be consuming like 300-ish calories and 75 to 100 grams of carbs. I don't know if I'm going to hit that. I've never hit that before. I don't know what that looks like, but I have enough calories to be able to do so, and I'm going to try and aim for that just to see how I react. Tomorrow's a lot of like just trial and error. I want to flesh these things out over the next 3 weeks or so before my race. So we have Go Gels, 24 grams of carbs each. We have a couple caffeinated gels in there. But yeah, a bunch of Go Gels. Those will be kind of my main source. At some point, I know I'm going to want to like chew on something. So I got some of these kind of like chews. I think there's like 200 calories in each of these. I also have a honey stinger. In these bottles, I'm going to have electrolytes and water. So I'm going to have a good mix of both, probably about 1,000 milligrams of sodium in each one that I have electrolytes in. So I'll kind of figure that out before tomorrow. But that's kind of the main thing. Carbs are my main source of energy here. And those are kind of the goals I'm going for tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I will let you know tomorrow if I feel like this worked or if I feel like I needed more or I needed less. We'll see. I almost forgot. After I get done with the trail section and I meet back up with Sophie, I'm going to have her bring this ice cold Red Bull. I don't know, I just feel like I'm going to be craving it at that point. It'll give me some caffeine and some more calories. So a Red Bull will probably make its way into the mix around mile 21 or 2. Okay, as far as gear goes tomorrow, here's kind of everything I'll have. My main fit will be the Satisfy Moth Tech t-shirt, the Lululemon Fast and Free half tights, DSG socks, and this Go One More hat. For the road miles, obviously wearing my favorite daily trainers, the Nike Vomero Plus. These have become my favorite daily trainers very quickly. These things are unreal. I highly recommend them. A lot of cushion, very responsive, last a long time. They look sweet. Then when I switch over to the trail, I'm going to be wearing the Satisfy Rocker. These are great training trail shoes. They've got a lot of traction, got these lugs on them. So I'm going to wear those for, 11 miles or so. Then when I'm on the trail as well, I'm going to stuff, gels, nutrition, all that into this vest. I might need this depending on how early we get to the trailhead headlamp just to light my way. Might listen to some music on the trail as well, using the open runs just because I don't like to be completely closed off when I'm on the trail. So probably throw those in, listen to some Gregory Alan Isakov. And then might need these at some point, the Oakley eye jackets. But with that being said, that is all my gear and clothing for the run. All right, so some just closing thoughts before I put the camera up, chill for the rest of the evening, and just try to get to bed because I know for a fact I'm not sleeping tonight. But I get really nervous before these runs. I don't know if you feel the same way, like on your long runs. But I don't know, I get like super nervous. I think there's just like so many unknowns. I'm scared of like, trying something I've never done, the pain that comes with it. I know there's going to be a point where it hurts really bad and it's just like I'm going to want to stop. And I don't know, I just always feel those nerves. And it's funny because it's like you could just say, well, it's just running, it's like not that deep. It doesn't matter. Like no one's making you do it, yada, yada. And that's true. It's like all pressure that I put on myself. But I think like I'm a competitive person, and anything I go for and try to do, I want to do it really well, and I want it to go well. And that's not a guaranteed, and that unknown makes me nervous and scared sometimes. And I was actually thinking about this recently. What separates me from who I was a few years ago? And I kind of came to the conclusion, like a few years ago, I would get scared and nervous the same way I do now. That hasn't really changed. But how I respond to feeling those nerves and feeling scared has completely changed. A few years ago, I would like cower away from things that I knew were going to be really hard because I didn't want to put myself in that position. But now I still feel it, but I do it anyways. I just do it anyways, and I don't let it control me. I don't let that fear consume me and paralyze me. And I think that's the biggest difference. It's like I haven't become some like crazy different person. I've just decided that I'm going to go after hard things still, because I know kind of like how rewarding and how worth it is. The most worth it things I've done are like these really hard things that I've trained so hard for and put myself in these really uncomfortable positions. And then every single time I've been rewarded for that. I've never been rewarded for cowering away from something hard. So tomorrow, I'm nervous. I don't want you to think that like, just because I'm a running content creator and this is what I do, that these runs are easy for me and it's just like a breeze. It's not. Like, I'm going to only show you the reality of my training on this channel. I only ever have. So if tomorrow's run sucks and it is a failure and awful, like you're going to see that. And if it's not, if it's a super big success, I'm going to show that as well. And so yeah, you're going to get the raw, honest 30-mile run insight tomorrow. So with that being said, it's okay to feel scared about these things and feel nervous, but just don't let it stop you. Just try anyways, because you'll be rewarded for that. You'll be rewarded for doing the harder thing and putting yourself in an uncomfortable position. With that being said, I'm putting up the camera, and we will resume this tomorrow morning when my face is puffy and it's like 4 a.m. and we get going on the longest run of my life. So see you in the morning. All right, good morning. It is 3:56. And oh my word, I didn't want to jinx it, but I looked at the forecast yesterday and it is 73 degrees. So I think that's a good sign that it is a good day to hit 30 miles. I say that and still like very overwhelmed with the amount of miles I got to run right now. But the way I'm going to break this run up is into 3 sections, and my main objective is just like get to the checkpoint. So for this first section, I just have to get to the trailhead. Sophie and I are just going to have a good time. It's going to be dark out the whole way. We're just going to get to the trailhead, then I'm going to get my trail shoes on, get my everything on, and then reset. And then I'm going to do my trail section, come back, reset, and then do my final section. So I'm breaking it up into 3 sections. I'm not looking at it like I have 30 individual miles to run. I just have 3 sections to get through. So with that being said, let's do a little pre-run fit check. On feet, you know the drill. Got the Vomero Plus, DSG socks, Fast and Free half tights, Satisfy T, Garmin Forerunner 970, Whoop 5.0, BPN hat as usual, and that's everything for now. Let's do this. Sophie, the goat, she's got everything I need in the backpack. She's gonna be cruising on the electric, so let's do this. How you feeling?
I'm tired, but I'm excited and it's cold.
All right, the first few miles are always the hardest. You gotta kind of just like grind in the dark, and then when the sunrise comes up, you get this like second wave of energy, and then we'll be cruising. So let's put in the work now and get to the sunrise. Let's do it. 30 miles. It's weird to think that I'm gonna be running for the next like 5 hours. Like we're starting now and I'm gonna be moving for 5 hours. Oh, it's intimidating. Sometimes I like to think that I'm like Frodo in Lord of the Rings. I'm like going on this mission. It's gonna be a long journey, but I can't quit or I'll die. If you think that way, it gives you some extra motivation to finish. So I'm like Frodo delivering the ring, and 29 miles left. All right, we just hit 10 miles. Still pitch black outside, which is kind of nice because I can get as much work as possible done in the dark. And it helps me like mentally reset my run when it gets light out. But yeah, we're getting to the trailhead now. Pretty successful. A couple scary sections there. No sidewalk and some dogs barking at us, but made it through alive. Now on to the mountain section. All right, we're switching into Satisfy rockers, throwing on the vest. Boom. So far that first 10 miles felt really good. It was just like pretty peaceful. Was able to zone out a little bit and just get through it. Like I said earlier, I'm kind of just like sectioning up this run in my head. So now I'm starting a whole new run in the mountains. So I'm just looking at this as like a 11-mile mountain run. And then when I get done with this, get back to just like a 9-mile chill run. And that should get me to 30, which would be crazy. But so far I feel good. Just gotta keep fueling right. I don't know. Not like overthinking anything too quickly because I'm only a third of the way done, but still got to be happy about that. Okay. All right, I'm gonna switch over to the DJI and do this trail section. So I'm saying goodbye to Sophie for a little bit and then we'll be back in like 2 hours. This is the hardest part of the whole run. Just have a huge incline. It's kind of got my spirits down at the moment. It's just really hard. But I'm just gonna trudge through this. I don't care how long it takes. Get to the top and try to find a rhythm again. Man, it is easy to get demoralized on climbs like that, where you're going well, everything's going good, and then all of a sudden, your heart rate's jacked up, you feel nauseous, and you just want to quit. It's hard, but this is the run that is going to build that confidence in me. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to hurt, and it hurts. But sunrise is coming up. We're in the mountains, and gonna just try to lock back in, go down this downhill section, and then just try to cruise. Turn my brain off for like another 10 miles before I see Sophie. Let's do it.
Don't know if we're gonna make it, but I know how it feels right now. Life's too short to keep worrying, love, so hold on to here and now. Maybe it all falls down and we don't make it through the night, but maybe
Look at that view. Oh my word. Hopefully the DJI can pick that up.
It burns in the dark. Hide these fires, they burn for us. And the love we have will be enough if we both choose to love. If we make it to the morning and we make it there alive, we'll be stronger because of the fire burning deep down, deep inside. Trouble won't be a worry. We'll wake up to the morning light, and we'll look back and see how far we've come, and know that we'll be alright. Fire these fires, they burn for us with the love.
Alright, last significant climb. Man, going through it on the trail, but pushing through. Okay, just made it to 20 miles. That means I just have a 10-miler left, which still a lot of running, but I know based off of how many 10-milers I've done this prep that I can run 10 more miles. It's gonna suck, it'll be hard, but I can run 10 miles any day. So, still in the mountains working, but I'm about a mile out from meeting Sophie again. This was a tough section, really tough. This is a grind. This is a grind, but I love it. I love being out here, testing myself, doing things I never thought I could. Almost back at the parking lot, just right up ahead. So I'm gonna switch back over to the good camera with Sophie. Solid run in the mountains. All right, we're 21 miles in. Just gonna grab some fuel and then we're gonna start.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay.
All I really need is 5.
I can't lie, I've been looking forward to this for like the whole time. I said Red Bull gives you wings, but I don't need wings, I just need legs. So if Red Bull can give me fresh legs for this last 9 miles, that's all I need. Let's do this. We won't even hit 90 degrees on this run. All my other training runs have started at 90. So that's kind of why I'm feeling so good, I think. Okay, we're at 22.3 miles, which is the most miles I've ever done on a training run. Never gone above 22. So, surprisingly feel amazing. Like I was telling Sophie, I feel as tired now as I did at like mile 3 on like last Sunday's run. It was just like a normal 10-mile jog. So for some reason I feel really good. It took like 20 miles to feel good, but I'm here now. So I'm just gonna do a little 8-mile jog to wrap this up. And then that's 30 miles. Still a lot of work, so I'm not gonna jinx it just yet, but I'm gonna keep working. Okay, we're officially 1 marathon in. Everything after this point is uncharted territory. I have never run past this. And I'm really shocked at how good I feel right now. So we got a little less than 4 miles and that'll complete 30 and I can do that. So like I always say, still more work to be done, but it's gonna happen. And I'm really proud of this run. I pushed through and I'm giving it what I got. So 26.3, what do we got? 2.7, no, 3.7 left. My math isn't great right now, but let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, 30 miles. 30 miles. Oh my word. It's gonna take me like a few hours to even comprehend what just happened. But we hit a 30 miler, farthest I have ever run in my entire life. Huge PR, look at that. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that?
I can't tell. Yeah.
30 miles at a 9:05 pace overall. That includes the steep parts on the mountain, the incline hiking, everything in total, 9:05 pace. I'm so proud of that. It got towards the end, like the last 3 miles, I was like, oh my word, I've been running for 4 hours and 15 minutes. That is the peak run of this prep during peak week. Man, I'm gonna process it a little bit more and then I'll talk to you in a bit. All right, post run. Sophie's already devouring hers.
That's so rude.
But yeah, I got a caramel macchiato and then a sausage McMuffin. I'm so hungry. I'm excited for this. Oh my word, 30 out of 10. 30 out of 10. Best coffee I've ever had in my life? Or is that just a 30 miler talking? I don't know. Either way, it's hitting. Okay, it is now a few days later. Totally recovered and rested and everything from the 30 miler. The next day on Sunday, I did a 4-mile jog and my legs, they weren't sore. They felt like heavy and like tired, but they didn't feel sore, which is good. And that closed out an 80.6 mile week, my biggest week ever. Peak week wrapped up. We are now, as I'm filming this, in the taper. We have about less than 3 weeks till the race, which is awesome. So exciting. As I think back to the run a couple days ago, I said I wanted to talk about nutrition earlier in the video. Just briefly, I feel like my nutrition was really good and on point until about mile 20. Then it became hard to like chew anything. Like I didn't want to, I had predicted that I would want to like eat something. But I ended up like only wanting to take in like fluid calories and gels. So that's something I really have to work on. Something I didn't really see being an issue, but it kind of was. I didn't get any cramps, so I think my sodium levels and everything and liquid intake was good. But I think as far as taking in calories in the later stages of the run, obviously it was fine for 30 miles, but I need to be fueling for 50 miles. So I have a little bit of work to do to figure out my nutrition moving forward. But it was it gave me a good understanding of where I am and kind of what I prefer when I'm running that distance. So I'm going to take care of that the next 3 weeks, figure out how to fuel better. But, that's kind of the point of this long run. With that being said, I'm so proud of this run. You got to celebrate these wins along the way because that's what makes it worth it. And I'm really proud of this run. I'm still enjoying it. It's been a few days and I'm still mind boggled at the fact that I was able to do that. That's going to wrap up the video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it just allowed you to feel like you were experiencing the run with me. That's kind of the point of these videos. I want you to feel like you're here with me, going through it with me. Very successful peak week, very successful build so far. Now we're going into the taper and the race is right around the corner. So if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, comment, make sure you're subscribed. I love reading through all those comments and responding to as many of you as I can. With that being said, I will see you all in the next video.